So you're stressed about your hair falling out, and now you're wondering if stress itself is causing the problem. Yeah, I get it. Here's the thing. Stress absolutely can cause hair loss, but not how most people think. In this video, I'm showing you the 3 types of stress-induced hair loss, the exact timeline of when it happens, and the one type that can literally occur overnight that nobody talks about. Look, I spent 2 years trying to figure out why my hair was thinning until I discovered the connection between stress and something called telogen effluvium. Once you understand this, you'll know exactly what happens to your hair and what to do about it. Let's dive right in. So here's what most people don't know. There are actually 3 different ways that stress can mess with your hair, and each one works completely different. Type 1, telogen effluvium, the delayed reaction. This is the big one. Telogen effluvium sounds fancy, but it's basically your hair follicles going into panic mode. Here's how it works. When you experience major stress, your body goes, hey, we need to conserve energy for survival stuff. So it pushes up to 70% of your hair into the resting phase early. But here's the kicker. This doesn't happen immediately. We're talking about 2 to 3 month delay. So if you're losing hair right now, you need to think back to what was causing stress. Maybe in the spring or in the summer or the last winter if now is spring. The good news, this type is usually temporary. Your hair can grow back once the stress is gone and your body gets back to normal. Type 2, alopecia areata, the autoimmune response. This is where stress literally makes your immune system attack your hair follicles. I know, it sounds crazy, but it happens. You'll see round, smooth patches of hair loss, usually on your scalp, but sometimes eyebrows or beard too. This one can happen faster than telogen effluvium, but it's also less predictable. Some people get one patch while others get multiple. The timeline varies, but stress is definitely a major trigger. Type 3, trichotillomania, the immediate response. This is the one that can happen overnight that nobody talks about. It's when stress makes you literally pull your own hair out. And I don't mean that in a figure of speech. People actually do this, often without even realizing it. You might be twisting, pulling, or playing with your hair when you're anxious or stressed. Over time, this can create noticeable thinning or bald spots. Now, here's what blew my mind when I first learned this. Most people think stress causes immediate hair loss. Like you have a bad day at work and wake up with a bald spot. That's not how it works. For telogen effluvium, which is the most common type, there's this 2 to 3 month delay. Your hair follicles need time to process the stress signal, shift into the resting phase, and then actually shed the hair. So if you're dealing with hair loss right now, you need to be a detective. What major stressful event happened 2 or 3 months ago? Job change, relationship issues, health scare, financial problems. Let me tell you a personal story. About 6 years ago, my wife's grandmother passed away. My mother-in-law was absolutely devastated. I'm talking about the kind of grief that just consumes you. For months, she was stress cleaning everything in sight, even stuff that was already spotless clean. She kept going to work, no days off, trying to distract herself. She wasn't as social with her family like she usually is. And while she held it together in public, I have a feeling that she had her moments in private. Then a few months later, we started noticing hair thinning, especially around her temples. Classic telogen effluvium pattern. Now, here's where the story gets interesting. At the time, I was deep into testing this hair growth oil that I've been working on, the Mane Growth Elixir. She saw that my own hair was improving and she asked me if she could try it too. Within about 2 weeks, we started seeing baby hairs sprouting around her temples. It was honestly miraculous. She still uses the Mane Growth Elixir to this day and she swears by it. Now, you might be wondering what makes this oil so effective for stress-induced hair loss specifically? Well, it comes down to the ingredients and how they target the exact problems that stress creates for your hair. See, when you're stressed, your body does 3 main things that hurt your hair. It reduces blood flow to your scalp, increases inflammation around your follicles, and it disrupts your hair's natural growth cycle. The Mane Growth Elixir tackles all 3 issues head on. First, we've got adaptogenic ingredients like gotu kola, ginseng, and tulsi. These are literally called adaptogens because they help your body adapt to and recover from stress. Gotu kola improves circulation and reduces inflammation. Ginseng supports blood flow and may reduce stress-induced shedding. And Tulsi helps balance cortisol levels, the stress hormone that we've talked about. Then there are the scalp stimulating ingredients like bringraj, peppermint oil, and ginkgo biloba. These help kickstart hair follicles that have been dormant due to stress. Bringraj has been used in traditional medicine for regrowth for centuries. Peppermint oil stimulates circulation to wake up sleeping follicles, and ginkgo biloba increases blood flow to deliver nutrients where they're needed the most. We've also included anti-inflammatory ingredients like saw palmetto, black seed oil, and pumpkin seed oil. Even though stress-related hair loss isn't primarily about DHT, like male pattern baldness, inflammation control is crucial to follicle recovery. And finally, there are calming and nourishing oils like lavender, chamomile, and calendula that help soothe irritated scalps and support the recovery of follicles that have been under stress. It's basically a powerhouse mix of adaptogens, circulation boosters, anti-inflammatories, and follicle stimulants, everything that your hair needs to recover from telogen effluvium and stress-related shedding. If you want to check out the main growth elixir for yourself, I'll drop a link down in the description below. And right now, we're offering 15% off for new customers. Back to the topic at hand. Your body isn't trying to make you look bad. When you're stressed, your body thinks that you're in survival mode. It's like, okay, we might be running from a saber-toothed tiger here, so let's shut down all non-essential functions. Hair growth? Non-essential function. Your body redirects all that energy to keeping your heart beating and your brain functioning. The problem is our modern stress doesn't go away like it would if we were actually running from a tiger. We're dealing with chronic stress from work, relationships, money. Stuff like that can last for months or even years. Here's the science part, but I'll keep it simple. When you're stressed, your body pumps out cortisol, the stress hormone. A little cortisol is fine, but too much for too long, that's when your hair follicles start shutting down. Studies show that people with chronic stress have consistently elevated cortisol levels. And guess what? Those same people are way more likely to experience hair loss. Here's what most people don't realize. Stress-related hair loss is often reversible. Your follicles aren't dead. They're just sleeping. Once you manage the stress and give your body what it needs to recover, your hair can come back. But you've got to be patient. Just like it took 2 to 3 months for the stress to show up as hair loss, it's going to take time for your hair to recover too. What can you do right now? First, identify your stress triggers. What's causing the stress in your life? Work, relationship, health, money. You can't fix what you don't acknowledge. Second, manage the stress. I'm not saying just relax. That's useless advice. I'm talking about real stress management. Exercise, meditation, therapy, whatever works for you. Third, support your hair's recovery. Your follicles need the right nutrients to bounce back. That's where something like the main growth elixir comes in. It's packed with ingredients that nourish your scalp and support healthy hair growth. Stress can absolutely cause hair loss, but it's not immediate and it's not permanent. Understanding the timeline and the science behind it gives you power. You're not helpless here. Your hair loss might be stress-related, but that doesn't mean you're stuck with it forever. With the right approach, managing stress, supporting your body's recovery, and being patient with the process, you can get your hair back. Look, I get it. Dealing with hair loss is stressful. And finding out that stress might be causing it feels like some cruel joke, but knowledge is power. And now you know exactly what's happening and what you can actually do about it. Remember, your hair follicles are resilient. They want to grow. Sometimes they just need a little help getting back on track. So take a deep breath, manage that stress, and give your hair the support it needs to recover. Because at the end of the day, it's time to unleash your main potential. If this video helped you understand the connection between stress and hair loss, hit that like button and let me know in the comments what your biggest stressor has been lately. For me, it's having a newborn child in my 40s. If you want to find out if hats really cause hair loss, check out this video next and prepare to have your mind blown. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.